Shakur Stevenson says the beef with Gervonta Davis is real as he talks to Andre Ward and says exactly when the fight with Gervonta Davis is going to take place. Let's talk about what Shakur Stevenson had to say to Andre Ward about Gervonta.
Gervonta Davis, is it just boxing beef or is it real beef? and if so, where did it originate from? I know it's a longer story, but just, you know. Whatever you could share.
It's kind of bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because of like the history and like everything that like went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we got to fight. So at the end of the day.
You feel that's going to happen?
Yeah, I know it's going to happen. I mean, I'm the best, he the best. So when you got two guys that's the best, how can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take an L. But I think like with both of us, we both fighters that's really good fighters and on that level.
From a boxing standpoint, what makes Tank Tank? We see the power, but it's got to be more than that.
Nah, he's strategic. He's setting guys up. He been boxing since a little kid, just like I've been boxing since a little kid. And you can tell like with the experience. Even with his last fight with Frank Martin, you can see Frank Martin was more so an amateur. Like the experience he got is not on the level of like Tank. And he just took off with experience. He let him waste his energy, gassed him out. And then round 8, right. Okay, it's time to go home.
When would you like to see that fight happen?
Whenever. I think that I'm ready for it. He ready for it. We both in our primes. It can happen next. It can happen next year. It can happen whenever he say, let's fight. That's when it's going to happen.
All right. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where Shakur Stevenson gave an interview to one of the best fighters of this century. One of the best 168-pound fighters and 175-pound fighters in boxing history, the great Andre S.O.G. Ward, and let people know exactly when it was or is that he's going to fight Gervonta Davis, talks about the beef between the two, but at the same time is about to take a very big risk with his career, and we're going to talk about all of that. Before I do, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. You guys heard it. So in this new video or podcast called All the Smoke Fight, which is a subsidiary, I suppose, of All the Smoke podcast hosted by Steven or owned by Steven Jackson. And I think maybe Matt Barnes might also own it as well. They're now working with one of the best fighters in the world over the last, in my lifetime, one of the best fighters in the world, Andre Ward. And they talked to one of my favorite fighters and one of the best fighters in the world right now, Shakur Stevenson. And he asked him directly, what's going on with Gervonta Davis? Is this beef real? What's going on? And he said, yes, the beef is real. The beef is real because of all of the things that have gone on in the amateurs, the lead up into the fight, and that the fight between he and Gervonta Davis is definitely going to take place. I have to tell you, man, I've been saying for a while that I think that Shakur Stevenson has really been getting a lot of unwarranted slack based off the things that he has said. And I hope that nobody gives him any slack off of this one because he took a very, very realistic viewpoint. He said, look, the fight is going to take place when Gervonta Davis wants the fight to take place. That makes a lot of sense to me. And it's an honest answer. I'm sure people would love to hear, oh, we're going to fight next. But truth be told, they're not going to fight next because neither one of those camps at this point in time think that next is the best time for that fight to happen. First, you've got Shakur Stevenson, who is yet to sign with another promoter, but very well may be dealing with Turkey Al-Sheikh and getting some of that free money for as long as that'll last. I don't think that that's a bad thing that Shakur Stevenson does it. If, hey man, if you can get the Saudi Arabian government to waste some money on you and go out there and lose, $10-15 million on a fight while you get paid and you get to watch a over the hill rap concert, right before you go out, hey, so be it. However, I don't really know whether or not that is going to ever really serve to get the Gervonta Davis fight done. If Shakur, depends on the type of deal that Shakur Stevenson strikes with Turkey, and I do believe that he is going to work with Turkey. Turkey gave him a new nickname, the Outlaw. Gave him a new nickname, called him the Outlaw. Actually, I saw a meme that was so funny based off that, but a whole bunch of people are riding Shakur because, Turkey Al-Sheikh is giving him nicknames. But whatever the case is, the only problem that I can see with him going to Turkey is ultimately when he gets to the point of trying to make the Gervonta Davis fight, and Gervonta Davis is they're gonna have to concede to whatever it is that Gervonta Davis wants to do in order to get that fight, provided Gervonta Davis keeps winning and the PBC keeps wanting to fund his fights and Amazon doesn't go out of business soon. And I don't think Amazon is going to go out of business anytime soon. The tone of Shakur Stevenson, I think, is one where you're actually trying to make a fight with Gervonta as well. Like, if you recall, a long time ago, really long time ago, ancient history, there used to be a guy that held a belt at 135 or at 140 named Devin Haney. And he used to always want to talk about when he was going to fight Gervonta and who's ducking and this and that and the other thing. And that went on for years and years and years. And it seemed as if every single solitary time that Gervonta either had an opponent or Shakur or Devin had an opponent, it winds up being that Devin calls Gervonta Davis out during those times. The fight never takes place because the fight was never really meant to take place. It was meant to have Devin Haney's fights promoted off the back of Gervonta Davis. I'm happy to see that Shakur Stevenson is not taking that route, because Shakur says, look, man, the fight is going to take place when Gervonta Davis says the fight's going to take place. Now, that does put the onus on Gervonta Davis to get the fight, to get the fight made. But he's not out there screaming, Gervonta's ducking me, Gervonta's scared of me. No, he gives Gervonta Davis gives Gervonta Davis his credit. He doesn't go off and say that, Gervonta Davis is ducking me to go fight an exhibition fight. And like Devin said about Gervonta when he fought Ryan Garcia, the guy that ultimately wound up mopping up on Devin, even though, not Kimbuteral, what is it? Osterine was in the mix. So, he got his win back. But all in all, I like the tone of it, because I think that the tone of this interview is going to actually lead to a fight and not just lead to a lot more talk. And not that I mind talking about boxing. I talk about boxing every day, but I have, ever since, the original time for myself, the original time that I had been in any way, shape, or form involved in a negotiation for a fight, that being the Devin Haney, Gary Russell Jr. back and forth that took place a few years ago. I learned in that pretty much whenever you hear all of this stuff in an interview and all of the vicious back and forth and all of that stuff, that the fight is not getting made, that they're really not working towards that they're not entered into the partnership mode, because because when you have a professional fight, it is a partnership. You're winding up making money for both parties, and both guys are going to walk away with millions of dollars. Now, only one guy can walk away with the win, right? Only one guy is going to walk out, of the ring with those belts, provided it's not a draw, but still it's a partnership. So those guys being complimentary to one another, or at very least silent on one another, acknowledging what's going on, makes it more realistic that the fight is actually going to take place. And you can see that with the Errol Spence-Terrence Crawford fight. Once all the blabbering and stuff stopped, the fight actually got made. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Definitely enjoying the Andre Ward fight, All the Smoke Fight podcast. Asks very good questions. Obviously, he's got a very, very deep relationships in the sport of boxing, so we should be able to get a lot of very, very good interviews and enlightening information. And Andre Ward is very good at interviewing. I enjoy the podcast. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.